Hey, it's Sketching with the Sullivans again, and we just got back from vacation. We went to Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, and it's a beautiful place, and it inspired us to draw. And so we're gonna draw something inspired by our vacation. Before I do that, I'm gonna ask you, Sawyer, what was one of just anything you liked from vacation? What was something cool in Tennessee?
The aquarium.
The aquarium. Went to Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. It was the best aquarium I've been to. There were sharks, a giant sawtooth thing. It was big. I liked that a lot. Boy, my favorite was just the mountains, being way up in the mountain and seeing a bear. That wouldn't have been your favorite if you saw it, probably. But I saw it. It was pretty cool. I like that a lot. All right. Well, we're gonna draw together some mountain views and show you how to do it. Okay, so here's what we're going to use. The typical writing instruments we've had before, our favorites are Sharpies. We're going to do multiple layers though to make it look like the mountains are kind of far away. So to accomplish that, we're going to have something thick like a Sharpie, something thinner like a fine point Sharpie, and a pencil. And if you don't have all these things, you could accomplish the same effect by using one marker and just writing thicker or thinner lines. Or you can use different instruments. This is what we've figured out to do. So we are going to start by making some clouds. I'm going to put my clouds on the left side of this page. And then I'm going to make a little cloud here, and here, and here. You can put clouds other places if you want, but I am going to make the mountains then behind these clouds. You can have more clouds, fewer clouds, but the idea is the clouds just kind of are where they are. And we're going to draw mountains in behind them. Now, as Sawyer's drawing his clouds, I'm going to start with my mountain. Oh, and you want your clouds to be low enough so that you can have some mountains above them. Because when we were in the Smokies, we found out that the clouds kind of roll in and cover up the mountains sometimes, depending on what day it is. So I'm going to make a little mountain. I like to go left to right. I'm right-handed. If you like to go left to right or right to left, doesn't make any difference. We're going to start with the triangle mountain here. And then at the bottom of the triangle, I'm going to make a straight line like this. Ooh, Sawyer's is nice and pointy. I like that. Now, the reason I made the straight line is it's going to be a little waterfall spilling over a cliff. And then another little mountain on here that goes down a little lower. Don't worry about finishing your waterfall yet. We can make it go lower if we needed to. I just wanted to get some guidelines. All right. Now, I think I'm gonna make another mountain come up like this and come down here like that. And then I'm gonna return to my waterfall. I want my waterfall to be a little lower, so I'm gonna make it come down farther. And this is where it's gonna splash over the edge with some water drops. Why is it splashing? Because it's hitting another little mountain underneath it. Now, I love drawing mountains, and one of the reasons is you just can't mess it up. Because if they're curvy, or even if your hand is wobbling and not steady, that's fine. Mountains are curvy. They have all kinds of shapes. And if you make a perfectly straight line, that's okay too. Because mountains have cliffs on them sometimes, and it could be a cliff. I'm gonna draw my water spilling out over the edge like that. And then I'm gonna make more splashes. You make it go as far down as you want. Now you could keep making mountain ridges all the way down if you want to have more and more and more splashes. But I'm going to end mine after these. I didn't quite draw this last line all the way to the bottom, and there's a reason for that. Because I have one more waterfall, and when it splashes, covers that, and has the biggest splash drops. All right. Now we're gonna come back and finish this mountain range in a moment, but I'm gonna draw now some higher mountains back behind it. Like this. And I think I'm gonna leave it here because I'm gonna draw a cabin on top of this mountain. I'm gonna draw that. All right. When we went to the Smoky Mountains, we stayed in a cabin that was way up high in the mountains, and it was a little something like this. It wasn't quite as dramatic as this, but it did have stilts that made it kind of hang out over the mountain, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna draw one, a little something like this. If you like a traditional triangle roof, you can do that. But start with a square and then draw some stilts underneath it. I like yours, Sawyer. I think yours is a little better proportioned. I think mine's a little large for my mountain. All right, now I'm gonna put a window in mine. You could put 2 windows or 5, whatever you feel like.
I want to make one coming out here because our cabin.
Oh, a dormer.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Now I'm going to come back and make this mountain range come out. And this is going to be my tallest one, I think. And it's going to come down here behind that cloud. If you don't have a cloud there, it's fine. Just make it come down about that far. And then when it hits the bottom, it goes up again. And that's all your mountains do, is just go up and down and up and down. Okay, now that I've established where this mountain range is, I'm going to finish my unfinished mountain back here. It can be steep or narrow or shallow. I think I'm going to make mine kind of go like this. Now, before I finish, remember I like to work left to right. Before I finish this spot here, I'm going to go into this blank area and I'm going to draw this puffy little scallop shapes that go like this, because that's how I'm going to represent a tree.
Here?
Right there. All right. We can draw much more detailed trees, I'm sure, but right now we're just trying to make a representation that it's a tree, because we're going to color this in with marker, and if we get too detailed, it's going to be very difficult to even tell what it is. These are my tree limbs. I made a V here, and then a tree limb gets wider as it goes down, like this. And I think I want another tree behind it. Do we want another tree behind it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of trees there. So I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna start halfway down my tree, and I'm gonna do the same scallopy thing, and I'm gonna hide it behind there. And then this one maybe just has a simple trunk, like this. Okay, that's all for now. Our grass and trees and bushes are going to be similar to our tree. They're just going to be this kind of stuff. And they're going to hang over the edge. Over the edge of what, you might ask? This cliff that goes down that far. Nice. You can make this go all the way to the edge if you want, or you can make another cliff behind it. Or a hill, or a mountain, or anything you want. Oh yeah, I like that. Different levels. All right, now I am going to do this same grass effect here, Come out as far as you want. I'm gonna have mine come out about that far. And then we're gonna have another cliff wall here. You can make them go straight up and down. They remind me of like Mario levels or Sonic. I think I'm gonna make my other one kind of slant down, but you can make it a straight cliff if you want. Now I'd like to have another tree on here, and this is gonna be a great tree. I'm gonna start from the bottom this time, and I'm gonna go up here and up here. Remember, the lines get closer together as they go to the top, but they don't touch. Now they branch out. I'm gonna have a branch here, and then come down this line and make a V or an L. And then follow it down and come back to the root or to the base of the trunk. And then make another one with another V. It goes out like that. Good. Now, fill it in with this stuff. Bless you. We can bring this mountain back, but it's hidden behind the trees. Yours might come down here and then come back up. Depends how high you want it to be, because I'm going to make another peak. I'm going to make another peak back here. And then I'm going to make one more peak over here. Now, we're almost done, but we're not done. We have to draw another mountain range behind this. But before we do that, I'm gonna add our furry little friend, Mr. Bear. So, I'm wondering if I should use the thin fine point Sharpie for him or this one. What do you think?
I feel like the fine point.
I think that's what I was thinking. I'm glad you said that. Because this is getting a little busy here, and these ones make thick lines. So, we're gonna make a face, which is basically the bottom half of an oval. Like this. Can you do that? You can make yours above the cloud if you want. Just make sure you give yourself enough room. He looks like he's going up to the cabin to sniff out some food. All right. I just didn't want mine to be behind a cloud. Now, bear ears, I don't know how to explain it. They're sort of, imagine a leaf. They kind of go like this, but they're not big, but they're longer than you might think they are. Okay. Now, this doesn't look like a bear right now, but we're going to make him look like a bear by doing this kind of thing. This oval shape that's wider at the top than the bottom, we're going to do the exact opposite for his nose. It's going to be narrow at the top and get wider at the bottom, like this. Yeah. Okay, and then he has a long bear nose that comes out like this. The same oval shape, basically. And then we'll give him a little friendly bear face, which is it's a J that goes like this, and then a backwards J, like that, or a C. Okay, now, 2 little eyes, because he looks mischievous or interesting, but not menacing. All right, now we draw the rest of his body, which is gonna be, start about halfway on this oval, and come back, and come down. And then he's got a little, I'll let you finish that. He's got a little bear tail. I think bears have these tiny little tail things. It's just kind of a little bump. Okay, he's peeking over the mountain at you. Now, do I use a fine point Sharpie for another mountain range or a pencil? What do you think?
Fine point Sharpie.
All right. You can do these however you want. These mountains are in the distance. They're far, far away. It might even be bigger than the mountain that we have in front of us. We don't know. But it's so far away that it's thinner lines. And it's off in the distance. There isn't a right way to do this. Just make bumps that go up and down. And if you want to, you can make mountains that go on 3 or 4 layers deep if you want. All right, Sawyer, is there anything we've forgotten on this drawing before we color it?
I don't think so.
All right. Let's color this mountain scene. Well, we're all done. Let's show them what we got. All right, well, before we get them up close, Sawyer had something that he was gonna say. What do you want to tell him?
So while we were coloring, we put a hidden message down and see if you can find it and do what it said. And leave in the comments if you did find it.
Is the message something that while we were drawing and coloring? Okay, so now you know where to look. You want to get these up close to the camera? Here's mine. My mountains are more mountainy and gray, and this is Sawyer's. This was Sawyer's design. It was his idea to have the clouds here like this. I really like it. I think you did a really great job on yours, and it was a great design idea. Sawyer's kind of the design guy. Well, that's all we got for today. If you've gone on a fun trip, why don't you try drawing a picture that was inspired by your trip? Or if you have a trip that's an imaginary place in your mind you'd like to go, that's also great inspiration. Or if you have something you'd like us to draw, we would love to see it in the comments. Maybe we'll take a crack at it. All right, well, until next time, keep sketching.